talk radio TV show called Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced and get happy with Dr. Marissa. And this show is about hope and happiness. So there's no gossip, no scandal. Instead, I want you to focus on your own reality show and how you can be happy 88% of the time. So I have shows and topics.
Sunday, Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days. Thursday, Friday, happy days.
Monday, Tuesday,
Happy days.
Wednesday, Thursday,
Happy days.
Friday, whatever.
Happy days.
What a day. Na, 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 na.
I love you.
I love you too.
Best known as the mom from Happy Days, and she is a delightful 89-year young Marion Ross to my studio. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Dr. Marissa, this is such a treat for me.
Oh.
My goodness, you're a wonderment.
Which is exactly the kind of guest that I like. Those who have gone through life, good and bad, and then taken those experiences to alchemize them into the person they are now and doing good on the planet. I'd like you to welcome Corey Feldman.
If you're grateful for it and you say right away, thank you, God. Oh, my God, that's so beautiful. I'm so blessed. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Then guess what? More good things will come to you.
Does this sound familiar at all? She's back again to mark my Cancer Awareness and Prevention Month show. Please welcome Fran Drescher. Hi, Fran.
On and supporting cancer schmance. I really appreciate it.
So what would you say are some of the biggest myths, Fran, that people have about cancer?
Well, I would say that they think that there's a cure for it.
Okay.
Instead of a cause for it.
This is the first call-in show when I get to be Dr. Marissa, the kinder, gentler Dr. Laura. And people call in to get their life tires balanced and their critical thinking or their BS, their belief systems, smog checked. And today I am delighted to have Malie calling in from Birmingham, Alabama.
We could go 90 days and end up having terrible sex. And then you say, well, the relationship's not all about sex. Well, if I'm not getting great sex from you, then I'm going to get it from somebody else. Right?
That moose just got put on the table. And I see Josh and Jim.
I have to agree
You're
with Clyde.
both nodding. Ramon's sort of half nodding because his wife's listening. But
I understood what was going to happen if Muhammad Ali's youngest daughter, made public that I was going to become a boxer. So I wanted to make sure this was the path that I wanted to go down.
You are absolutely fabulous, beautiful inside and out. And I'm giving you Dr. Marissa's Beneficial Presence on the Planet Award today.
Thank you.
Just sit right back and you'll hear a tale of a fateful trip that started from this tropic point.
When I go, I'm gone.
Are you lonely?
No.
Nah, I knew that was going to be
But
the answer.
I surround myself with people. I mean, I'm always the one cooking for things. Or I'm always the one that decorates first and come to my house. All the orphans that have no place.
I'm going to have no place to go, so I can come over.
Come on over.
And life is so amazing if we can see it.
Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome. You're tuned in to Take My Advice on Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News, the NBC News, and NBC Sports Radio station AM 1050, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, TuneIn, Audible, Amazon Music, Tiki Live, Rumble, Podchaser, Spreaker, you name it. We are streaking all over. Maximizing my splatter zone for more hope and happiness. So there's no gossip on this show, no scandal, no K words, no Kanye talk at all. Instead, I want you to focus on your own reality show and how you can be happy 88% of the time with topics and guests to that end. I'm so grateful. We are on 606 consecutively. It does not feel like a Monday to me. I don't know what is going on. I really thought it was Thursday. So I try to take one day at a time, but sometimes a whole week will hit me in the head. So that is where I am. Let me just fix that. 606 consecutive weeks. This is show number 1078, I believe. I'm just grateful. And we'll start the gratitude sandwich right off the bat, having breakfast with me. Before we get into the topic of the day, which is self-soothing and self-care, because it is Monday, now that I have, embraced that. It's Mental Health Matters Mondays. It's a special series that I started, I think, post-pandemic, or actually through the pandemic, because we really, the good news is we've talked about mental health now more so than we ever have. It's become more accepted to talk about it out loud, partially thanks to my honorable moniker, Oprah, who with her interview with the Royals, as well as more and more people who are household names because of their role in the acting industry, are also coming out and talking about it. And unfortunately, because people are taking their lives who are in the public eye, is also putting our antenna up around mental health. That's the good news, is that, it's there, it's out there, we're talking about it. The bad news is some of the solutions that people are looking to are not necessarily addressing the problem. Nothing against pharmaceuticals. I think that some people absolutely do benefit from it, but the large majority of people, especially that I get to work with as a happiness coach, the side effects, number one, and also the temporary masking of the things that are causing some dis-ease with your life are not addressed just by popping something or buying something or having sex with something or someone is not necessarily addressing some of the underlying hurt that are blossoming into ill mental health. So that's why we do Mental Health Matters Mondays. And that's why we start the show this year with taking a bite out of my gratitude sandwich. So we're going to start with 8 things that we are specifically grateful for to balance out all the very readily bad news that's out there. We're going to focus on good news. And that's one of the tools, Happy 88 tools that I use, is using your choice, the C word, the ch word, using your choice to focus on those things that are good. So let's get started. I've got Cashew Gallery, wonderful people here. I know that Maria and PJ are here. There we go.
The Orville is not, I repeat, not canceled. Okay, something's going on. Maria is here. Maria has a show on YouTube as well. Good morning to you. Troy is feeling a little bit under the weather. So I don't know if he's here or not right now. But PJ is streaming in from Portugal, and Maria from Colorado, and Troy from Chicago. If you are not driving, please go to my YouTube channel, free subscribe, and you'll get an alert every weekday morning for you to come and love stream with me out of my living room, and put your gratitudes in the chat and comment on whatever you'd like. So, Orville Nation and Maria, please play along with my gratitude sandwich. What are you grateful for? What are you grateful for? And we're going to do 8 because 8's a lucky number. I know that, whoops, that's not it. I didn't put my story up to remind people to tune in right now. But gratitude is things outside of yourself. So what do you like that is outside of you? I am grateful that I have a very smart phone that can do more than one thing at the same time. Although it's not cooperating right now. There's like 18 things to do right before the show. And I guess that proves that it is Monday. I am grateful that, that no matter what happens, we are alive, and that we get a chance today to breathe and love and laugh and learn and work on things to always feel better. I'm grateful that humankind is kind most of the time. I'm grateful that all of the things that people speculate about in worst case scenario usually don't even come true. I'm grateful that I get to do the work that I do that really isn't work. I am grateful that I, as PJ pointed out, have no idea how many people I help. I did get that message, PJ. It's funny. And I'm grateful that, I have people like Frank to help me in studio, and people like Mark and all the guys, Fred, who owns the station, who went on 25 years for KCAA. And what a blessing that is, this NBC News radio station. Orville is grateful for our wonderful online community. They are the best. Grateful for friends like Maria, Troy, Marissa, etc. So there we go. That's way more than 8. I am grateful that I get people to have breakfast with me pretty much every morning that I'm on. And that is it for the top of the bun. Let's go to the bottom of the bun. Now, the bottom of the bun is, what do you like about yourself? So gratitude's outside yourself. Appreciation is inside yourself. Why bother? Because if you can't approve of yourself, how the fork do you expect anybody else to? And I believe that self-care is truly one of the foundational skills for good mental health. If you can't soothe yourself, if you can't take care of yourself, if you're constantly looking for love in all the wrong places, looking for other people to approve of you or like you literally, or make you feel better, you're going to have a tough time. Don Miguel Ruiz, one of my past guests and friend, if you haven't read The 4 Agreements, brilliant book. Power of Love is where I get a lot of my concepts around romance and relationships. So his one of his premises of why sometimes relationships don't go the way we want is we expect that person to be your supporting actor in the play of your life. And so you're the lead. You expect people around you to support you in your drama, in your play of life. And really, everybody has their own play. They are all their own leading actors. And the expectation that you have someone in your support system, that's their job, can lead you to resentment, anger, frustration, pissed offedness, beachiness. So all of those things don't make for a happy life, 88% happy life, which is why I want us to appreciate what do you know? No matter what happens, no matter what anybody says, no matter who rejects you, no matter who insults you, what do you know about yourself? And this is actually the number one tool for self-soothing, which is the topic for today. So we can start in our breakfast. What do you like about yourself? I love about myself that I do practice what I teach 88% of the time. I don't like it. One of the most annoying things in my life is when people turn around, if I vent, and they'll go, wait a minute, don't you say that? And I'm like, it's the occupational hazard of what I do as a result of what I do. So I'm not thrilled when people bring that up to me, but at the same time, I'd rather them bring it up than not know that about it and about me. So I appreciate that I do practice what I teach anytime. Had to do it this morning like 3 or 4 times. Okay, we have we have a gratitude here. I'm grateful for a great manager like PJ and for all the support from everyone. Beautiful. I'm saying yay, Fred. Thank you for that. We like the voodoo that you do. As long as it doesn't have you end up in doo-doo. All right. What do you appreciate about yourselves? So Maria just complimented you, Orville. I hope you appreciate your supportive nature, because that is certainly one of the things that you are being appreciated for. And I guess it's funny that I'm going live. I can't put that on there. So I'm going to just stop that. And I appreciate that I know when to hold and know when to fold. I used to get so frustrated when I got a busy signal or I couldn't get an answer from someone or didn't know what was going to go on, and was like really, my undies would be in a bundle, and it was just a constant level of stress, like what's going on? What's going on? Why aren't they getting back to me? Is it going to be this or that? And I still have a little of that. I have to be honest. I'm a New York planner. The only good thing is my niece and my nephew are worse than me. And so when they do it to me, I'm like, oh, that's how it feels. So I appreciate that I'm learning how to know when to fold and know when to hold. What else do you like about yourself? Maria says she has perseverance and hope. Beautiful. And yes, I experienced that from you as well. One more. Who wants to come in for an appreciation? Let's see if Frank wants to appreciate himself at all. I appreciate that I am a work in progress and process for the rest of my life, and that there is no there. I will be constantly expanding. And when I have pain or chiseling or things don't go my way, is a sure sign that I am growing and expanding in the most wonderful way. So that's it for Breakfast with Dr. Marissa and my cashew gallery. Thank you for joining me. I promise that if you do this exercise for 28 consecutive days, you will sandwich your day in the most positive way. All righty. Now, let's go to the topic at hand. Mental Health Matters Mondays. And let me just do this right now and put if you're wondering where I am and tuning in, I am in the studio on my YouTube channel where you can watch and listen. And I'm just about to put that link in my bio, which is on Linktree, by the way. For those of you who are not using my assistant, Google and you look up Dr. Marissa or Asian Oprah, that'll take you to a number of places. First and foremost, my YouTube channel is where I have all my shows, all my short films, all my feature films, all my red carpet interviews, Halle Berry, John Travolta, etc. All of that is on my YouTube channel. A snippet of all those things is on my website, drmarissa.life, where you can easily fill out, what you need from me, and you can even book time to chat with me there. And then, of course, my two most active social outlets are Doc Balance on Instagram, Doc Balance on Instagram, and then Facebook, where I am Dr. Marissa, also on LinkedIn, also on TikTok. Those are all Dr. Marissa or Dr. Marissa Pay. All right. Now, I actually made notes on this particular topic. I don't think I have given quite a lot of tools, which I'm going to do today. And because it's the holidays, anybody who is streaming in now or later and would like an audiobook copy of 8 Ways to Happiness from wherever you are, it houses all of my Happy 88 tools. There's exercises in here. It's a great gift for the holidays. So if you go to my website, drmarissa.life, and order an autographed copy, you'll get a free audiobook copy. And the first 3 people to go to Dr. Marissa Life today, .life today, will get a free audiobook copy of this book. All right, so that's the Asian Oprah giveaway for the holidays for today. And let's do this. So we have 8 minutes at the beginning. The first half of the hour, I like to put the moose on the table, which means my Canadian version of talking about the elephant in the room. And so we're going to do what the regular people who are not soothing themselves do. So when you don't soothe yourself, one of the first things that happens is you have a knee-jerk reaction. So I live out loud on this show in my life. I got a really harsh email from someone who I'm not used to getting harsh communication with. Formerly, pretty much great communication between us, and just, for whatever reason, get this harsh email, and I was like, woof, and I don't like being scolded. I don't like being criticized. I don't like being told that I'm wrong. I don't like being ridiculed. I don't like being embarrassed. Sound familiar? If you don't have those similar, I have yet to meet. Actually, I did meet a couple of people who said, no, that doesn't bother me, and they're dead. Sorry. No, if you're human, I don't know. Of course, you're not going to like those things. You want to have good relationships in life. You want to have good interactions with people. That, of course, is the ideal thing. And yet, it can get us in trouble because those things don't necessarily happen naturally. We're not perfect. None of us are perfect. I say I'm 88% fabulous, and 12% of the time I step in it. And 88% of the time, I'm going to be so good with you, and I like you, and I want to be with you, and I want to talk to you. And then 12% of the time, nothing to do with you. I don't. I just want to be by myself. I don't want to have to interact with people, and I certainly don't want to be nice when someone's not nice to me. I used to say that, if I do something to you and you come back at me, I deserve whatever it is you're dishing me because I went to you first. But the thing that irks me the most is when I've done nothing to you and you attack me. Now, I think I will get agreement everywhere that's true of most people. I'm not special in that. However, if we have people interact with people that are not perfect, then of course we're going to have those times. Somebody has an off day. Somebody has an off moment. Somebody has, something going on that you have no idea is going on in their lives that are making them a little bit less patient or less tolerant or less nice than they normally are. By the way, never expect me to be patient. That word is not even in my vocabulary. So, just in case. It just cracks me up when people say, thank you for being patient. That wasn't me. Anyways, I know where I'm 88%, and that's definitely my 12%. Working on it, not really. I'm not working on it. I embrace that part of me that is definitely not perfect. And this advice for knee-jerk reaction is definitely for me. But I've gotten a lot better. Are we past? No, okay. That's one normal thing that happens when you are not self-soothing, right? You have a knee-jerk reaction. The other thing that happens sometimes if you don't know how to self-soothe is you get fat because you are comfort food eating all the time. I'm not against at all the occasional comfort food imbibing because I am a foodie and that's important to me. And life is fabulous when I'm one with my food. And I don't believe that punishing yourself and never having something is necessarily good for or useful or happy making. So, but if your soothing involves eating everything in sight, a mindless eating, FU eating, now substitute eating with smoking, pill popping, shopping, meaningless sex, all of those coping skills might be temporarily self-soothing, but usually not 100% effective. It just is temporary. And then the consequences are tough, especially if you're a woman. It irks me. This is one of my pet peeves, how I have to work so much harder than most men who say, I'm going to lose some weight, and then it just seems to drop. I go to the gym every other morning and I watch, my fellow or non-fellow women who are on the treadmill, literally, of trying to lose weight, and me on the bike because I can't do impact because I've had 2 hips replaced, but it's just not fair. That for many men, it's so easy. Maria, do I have an amen on that? But anyways, all of those ways in which we soothe are not long-term, sometimes even short-term effective. They have consequences that are worse than the initial violation, kind of like those commercials of the pills that have side effects that are worse than the symptoms in the first place. So that's the other thing. So knee-jerk reactions is what happens when you don't self-soothe and you have consequences from that. You burn bridges, you can make an enemy, you can develop a negative reputation. So that's from knee-jerking. And the non-self-soothing, taking something that has consequences and side effects like weight gain or hallucinations or a drug addiction or going into debt from shopping, catching an STD from multiple partners to feel good about yourself. That all those temporary things are temporary soothing that have horrific consequences. So I think we're almost at the halfway through point now. I have hopefully proven or given you the on this hand, right? We're going to balance it out in the second half with tools. But on this end, I'm guilty of all of those things. Like, I'm guilty of knee-jerk reactions. I'm guilty of eating to soothe. I'm guilty of retail therapy to soothe. I'm guilty for a number of things. That's just, all of those things on that list at some point I have used. Did they work? No. All right. We're officially in the second half. How do we self-soothe? And I would love for my cashew gallery to chime in. And I forgot to do a station ID. If you just tuned in and you're wondering what's going on in the studio, you are tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using a Get Balance with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News Radio, the station that leaves no listener behind. It is Monday, and rainy days and Mondays always get me up. Hashtag UP, unlimited possibilities. If you want to hear more singing, tune in this Wednesday. We're having my annual holiday sing-along karaoke, and my co-host on Wednesdays, Doctors in the House, Dr. Tiffany, is going to also sing, and her kids, her beautiful daughter's voice, unbelievable, and her son is going to be playing oboe. So make sure you tune in Wednesday for holiday sing-along. That was the commercial. But if you haven't already done so, I'd love for you to free subscribe to this YouTube channel. That houses all 1,078 of my shows, and you'll get an alert every weekday morning to tune in. Also, the Asian Oprah giveaway today is an audiobook copy of my 8 Ways to Happiness from wherever you are. And for those of you who might be tuning in from Australia or New Zealand, I am going on book tour. I'm going to be teaching Tai Chi at Hyde Park. And I'm also going to be speaking and doing book signings. So if you would like to catch up with me in Australia or New Zealand, please do go to my website as well. Asian Oprah giveaway today for anybody. The first 3 to go to drmarissa.life. And if you go there, you can absolutely get on the subject line, just put Asian Oprah giveaway, and I'll get you the promo code for a free audiobook copy of this book. All right. So Dr. Omega is in the house. Let's see. I smoked for years. It was the only time I would take a break during work. I remember that. I enjoyed it, but as a result, abdominal aortic aneurysm. Wow. That's a side effect. That's a main effect. That is a perfect example of the consequence that I was just talking about of when you don't learn how to self-soothe in a way that does not have negative consequences. Thank you for that. Wow. That is, that's horrible. I actually had a pulmonary embolism as a result, not of smoking. Well, I don't know, maybe the smoking. I used to smoke a pack a day for 12 years. I said it was FU, soothing. I used to, because so many people were against it, I did it. And I said, I will quit after 10 years. And 12 years, I couldn't quit. Honestly, it was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. It's true that I had an easier time not drinking than I did not smoking. But what helped me was Nicotine Anonymous, a 12-step program, in case anyone's listening and want to quit smoking but can't. I got stories on that. I actually tried to use, I would take the patch off and have a cigarette and put this patch back on. That's how bad my my addiction was to smoking. But it was my way of soothing. Yeah. As soon as someone pissed me off, I would take a break and go and have a cigarette and just as I'm smoking, think of all the things that I would do to, hurt them. Not proud of that. But okay, let's see. Please tell me you're not doing Tai Chi, speaking and signing autographs simultaneously. It's very funny, Dr. Omega. Actually, yes, I do Tai Chi and speak at the same time. I meld in Tai Chi, Qigong, and happiness coaching. Haven't tried to sign the autographs, but hey, I love a challenge. That's your fault. Let's see. Also thankful for Dr. Omega's wonderful art in our community. He's appreciating you. He was finally able to quit after getting the aneurysm, being in the hospital for a month. Yeah, that's my way was a little easier than yours for sure. Okay. But Bert Goldman used to teach people to shift to reality where they're, well, honey, I used all kinds of shifting and nothing worked for me except that. But okay, how do we self-soothe? That does not involve side effects, does not involve consequences, and take responsibility for our own angst. I think that it's wonderful to be aware that you are not in a good place mental healthily. It's great to know that you're not in that good place, but it's almost not great to know it and then not do anything about it, or to do something that is short-term, or a short-term mask, or a short-term cover-up for what's going on. And let me give you, these might be fighting words for the pharmaceutical companies. I, again, will repeat. 1, I'm not an MD, I'm a PhD. 2, I'm not a licensed clinical psychologist because I chose not to be. I'm an organizational psychologist. And 3, I don't think that it takes 10 years of therapy and or, a year of trying to adjust to different medications that don't work. Now they have another drug that says if the first one's not working for you, take the second one to help the first one work. I'm sorry. I do have strong opinions on that because I've had coaching clients whose addiction to that drug kept them from working through and becoming strong enough in their own selves to self-soothe, so they did not have to have the side effects that they were getting. And the one side effect that concerns me the most, and I've had multiple experiences with people who are not happy, they're depressed, they're clinically depressed, and then they begin, but they've never had a suicidal thought. No matter how bad they felt, they never had a suicidal thought. They go on that medication, and it tells you that one of the side effects, by the way, it's not a side effect, it's a main effect. The side effect makes it sound like a minor thing. It's not a minor thing. So I feel strongly about this because I've worked with people who never had that and took the medication and then began having suicidal thoughts. And that to me is very scary. So that's why we do Mental Health Matters Mondays. And that's why I'm giving you some really simple but not easy tools to help you learn how to self-soothe. Okay, so let's start with the knee-jerk reaction. The first temptation, when someone pisses you off, says something unwarranted, is a jerk, bullies you, criticizes you, and for all the people in my Cashmere Gallery chat, we are all in the public eye. We are all doing something that we're blossoming our flower in the sight of many. So I believe that people who are behind the scenes are just as important as those in front. They are like the flowers that bloom and share the energy, positive energy at the tops of the mountain where not a lot of people are. And then those of us who are in the public eye are down, near the bottom of the mountain where there a lot more people can see you. And when a lot more people can see you, you're going to get people who are not in their best mind or not in their best place. And they will lash out. They will say things that will be hurtful. Okay. They will say things that maybe they wouldn't if they were not anonymous. Be that as it may, our choice to be in public eye is just going to attract that. So we have to learn how to self-soothe without further making the situation worse. As Thich Nhat Hanh says, when someone burns down your house, resist the urge to go and run after them and burn down their house. Instead, turn around and put out the fire in your own house. That's what this is about today. How do we self-soothe so that we don't create more things that we have to fix? All right. So hopefully I'll get through all of them. I did make notes this time, which I don't usually do, but I thought this was such an important topic. All right. The first tool is called Save Draft. When someone says something and I want to go back and either text them or email them or call them and tell them off, I do, what used to be take a deep breath, put your hands in your pockets and take a break. Hit Save Draft. There's this restraint of pen and tongue, restraint of text and thumb. Text wars are one of the silliest ways. Not only are you so focused and not understanding what they're saying because you have no context, because 40% of communication is tone, pitch, and volume. 53% or something like that is in body language and facial expressions, and only 7% is in the content of the words. So when you're in a text war, know that you're missing 93% of the communication, and you're reacting to just that 7%. So that's the same with email. So as an alternative to knee-jerk reactions where you do end up being the jerk most of the time, instead hit Save Draft. I am a firm believer in feeling that irritation. I'm not a person that suggests that you put on a smile and just let it go, let it go, let it go. True, you need to let it go, but not right away. That negative energy takes up more volume than positive energy. So if you don't process through and release that, become aware of it, feel it, bite your pillow. I remember going to therapy. When you become, in the field, you have to go yourself. And one of the best sessions I've ever had was with, I don't even remember his name, but he had a leather couch, black leather couch, and a plastic bat. And he said, just, feel it fully. I was so exhausted because I had, pent up anger and resentment, righteous indignation for years and years and years. But the release from it was wonderful. And so it's my BS that if you hold stuff in like that and don't release it, it will end up making you sick, because your cells in your body respond to what's going on in your emotions. That link is now, it used to be a theory. It's not a theory. Scripps, Harvard Medical, I'm forgetting that other place, famous place. They come up with studies all the time now linking emotions with physical health. So make sure you feel it. So I actually personalize it, and I get on my computer and I respond exactly how I want to respond without, any kind of, but you're an organizational psychologist, you teach communication in college, you should da-da-da. No, I just let my computer have it. But most importantly, I don't put it to that person. I put it to myself with the understanding that I could send this later, but right now I just need to get it out. I get it all out, and then I hit Save Draft. And then I have a 24-hour rule. I sleep on it. I don't think about it. I don't try to solve it. I just give myself some distance. Okay. And you can do this with text too, although you can accidentally send the text. So I would rather you put it in safe draft form. That is how I avoid being a knee jerk. Now, once I have done that, here's a number of other self-soothing questions that I ask myself. One is it worth it? Does this relationship matter? Knowing that they're probably not going to see it your way, or they're probably not going to see it in a positive light, no matter how nicely you put it. Okay. They're just as passionate in what their BS belief system is as you are. And is it really worth putting this, shovel, wrench, marking this spot? Is it really important enough to pee in that spot for ownership? Sorry, doggies. But it's very illustrative and very true. So I asked always myself, is this the hill I want to die on? Because no matter what I say and how I say it, it's going to have a consequence one way or the other. If the person cares about you and you care about them and you're going to have to work with them after this point, then yeah, it's called a carefrontation. I learned that from one of my past guests and friends, Reverend Arlene Hilton. And she says, she said something to me, I didn't like it, but I didn't say anything because it's like, oh, well, not meant to be my friend. You're too much work. And I just dropped her. And she comes back and says, I need to talk to you. I care about you. And I have a feeling there's something that you didn't like. So what is it? We're having a carefrontation. So those are some words you can use, or that's what a carefrontation is, to whether you want to re-engage or not. Most of the time, I am able to just say, this is a sign that we're not a match. And if I don't have to work with you and I don't have to be with you, then I'm going to let you go. Okay? Because you have every right to that opinion. No harm, no foul. The other short form of that is called NOM, N-O-M-B. Nom, 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 nom. You'll see me walking around going, nom, 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 nom. And it stands for none of my business. And Dr. Omega, a lot of the things that irritate you, I'm so grateful that you shared that, a lot of the things that Alana and I were talking about on Friday, it's none of my business in the sense that I can't control it. So if I'm allowing things that I really cannot control to dominate my mind and my dialogue and what's spewing out of my mouth, or what I'm thinking about, or I don't even like talking about things that I have no control over if they make me feel powerless, irritated, frustrated, confused, revengeful, violent, angry, pissed off. You know what I'm talking about. All of those things are nom, 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 none of my business. I don't care who is divorcing who. I don't care who is doing what to who, because it's nom, nom, nom. It's gossip. It doesn't make me feel good. And it's almost never true, because you're getting someone's perception or TMZ's investigative whatever about whatever. I will be first to say, I don't know why we have a fascination for that stuff. That's why news is, when it bleeds, it leads. We like drama. We like, fire, a moth to the fire, whatever it is. But we have to work that muscle, because we don't get that time back. The hour I would spend talking to someone about the merits of the movie or the merits of what's going on, does it really matter? I use that a lot for myself, because I won't get that hour back. All right, let's see what the Cashew Gallery's been saying here. Let's see. All SSRIs have period of vulnerability that are related to light and temperature change. I have no idea what an SSRI is. Barely discussed by most psychiatrists. They need a well-trained state to avoid these periods of vulnerability. Okay, sounds it's okay. Serotonin reuptake. Okay, yeah, we're talking about drugs that I don't even want to talk about. Sorry. All right. Another tool for let's go to I do the EWI2 IIWI, which is it worth it? Okay. Is my response or what I'm gonna say, what I'm thinking, is it worth it? Knowing that all that negative stuff takes a toll on my health, takes a toll on my mood, and frankly, it doesn't feel good to be a walking pissed off idiot. It just doesn't feel good. Sorry. Didn't need to add that idiot. Another tool is called Who's Talking Now? Who's Talking Now? Part of my practice in happiness coaching is readjusting who's driving your life car or who's talking in your ear the most. For many of us who've had childhood trauma, the person driving our life car is the critic. They are constantly bringing in how you're not good enough, what you failed at, what they said was true about you, and that is exhausting. So who's talking now? If you can catch that person and remind yourself that that's not who you are, that's your critic, you can put them in the passenger seat. And this whole series is about strengthening who you really are, which is balanced, centered you. Balance centered Oval Nation, balance centered Dr. Omega, balance centered Maria, balance centered Dr. Marissa, balance centered Frank in the sound studio. We all have who we really are. And that balance centered is what soothes you. So when you're feeling out of sorts, if you can delineate what is the critic saying, well, that voice is saying, well, you deserve to get insulted. Who do you think you are? You're not all that. You think, I was just remembering my brother, my Chinese brother, my bio brother, said when I was single, he said, you're single because you're reaching too high. Like you think you're better looking than you actually are. You should go for guys that are not that attractive. So that will come into my mind when and the reason why I thought of it was because my new mini-me little sister Ranella, who you saw on the show, if you missed that, go to my YouTube channel and rewatch it. She found me on social media, and she's just like me, but she's on this one woman, trek to find me a date because she lives in Naples, close to me. And anyways, so all those voices of the critic that are working against soothing you and hyping you up for a fight or hyping you up to beat yourself up, you gotta know that's not who you really are. And then ask the question, what would my balance-centered self say in this situation? So when I got into it, when someone, insulted me in an email, I know what my critic says. Oh, you're the complainer. No. This is your fault. Or screw him. You don't need a relationship with him. Just like never talk to him again. All right. And then I would say, who's that talking? That's my critic. That's my brat, right? My brat is one who needs people anyways. I'm going to go live on the desert island. F you. That's my brat. My balance-centered Dr. Marissa said, okay, obviously the fact that we've had a good relationship for a year, 88% of the time, this is a 12% time. He's having an off day. I'm having an off day. It hit me wrong. I've already written what I would have said to him. It saved draft. 24 hours later, I'm not sending it because my balance-centered self is saying, this too shall pass. More will be revealed. Give him the BOD, benefit of the doubt, that it is a personal, right? He's not perfect. I'm not perfect. Yes, I do need a relationship with him because I do work with him. All right. So can I let this go? No, I think I still need to say something, but it's not going to sound anything close to what I had written in the first place. All right. So I re-looked at it, took an 88,000-foot view, complimented him for the fact that we've had a really good relationship, and I don't want this to get away. So it was a much different communication than what I would have been for the knee jerk. All right. Marissa is a great date, Jen. She's more French, and Orville is joining Ranella in trying to get me dated off. I would be in a relationship if I choose to believe that it's not going to negatively affect my 8 jobs. And until I make that decision, it doesn't really matter how many ways in which y'all are going to try to help me. Just saying, because I'm a pretty powerful manifester. So maybe I should change my mind. But that maybe when I get back from Australia. All right. Tools, more self-soothing tools. This is such a good one. And I'm very proud that my daughters have adopted this. People will say, or I grew up with, did you get out of bed? What's that expression? I got out of bed on the wrong side of the bed, or I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Thank you. I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Okay. Or I got up on the wrong side and need to go back to bed. Tomorrow will be better. And yes, that's good, but I don't have an entire day to be in a bad mood, right? I don't want anything to negatively affect me for more than, used to be an hour. I think we're down to like 5 minutes, because I don't get that 5 minutes back. I certainly don't get a whole working day back. So I think I made this up when the kids were little. And I would say to them, they had a fight, they had a spat with each other or with me, or something bad happened at school, or they had a bad interaction with their friends. Okay. And we would go through the requisite feeling the feelings, getting pissed off, and then moving into self-soothing. And once the heat of the moment was gone, can't do this in the middle of the heat of the moment. Once the heat had simmered down, I would say, hey, can we start the day over again now? Can we start the day over again now? And I am so happy to say that I have gained time. People say, I wish I had more time. Here's a way you can have more time. If you can say, let's start the day over, then you're only gonna have that many minutes or hours, maybe even a half a day, but you won't lose your entire day. And especially if you don't keep highlighting, I'm having a bad day. I don't know how many people I hear, oh my God, I'm having a bad day. This happened, and then this happened, and then this happened. And I just try to turn the corner because I can't talk them out of it. But if they're open to coaching, if they come to me for help and they're paying me, I will say that's the last day you're going to do that, because you are attracting more bad things to continue to happen as you keep focusing and talking about it. Thank you, Frank. I know I'm running out of time. It is the last minute. Wow, I thought I had at least 3 more minutes, but thank you so much for joining me for Mental Health Matters Mondays. I hope you enjoy that you enjoy, and you're going to take some of this with you, because I am on a happy 88 mission, 88 million more happy people in the next 8 years. Thank you for joining me. This has been Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa. You can get this whole thing again on my Life Balance and Coaching playlist YouTube channel. Free subscribe. We'll see you tomorrow. We have Beth Linder Moss on Step Up Into Your Best Life with balance-centered responses to the brat that doesn't want to be healthy during the holidays. It's all about balance. Peace in, peace out, world peace through inner peace. Now go and have the best day ever. We'll see you tomorrow.